So the Senior Rotax Championship comes down to the last race of the year, and it's Oliver Hodgson on pole versus Sean Babington fourth. Sean is leading, but Oliver Hodgson has to win and hope that Sean Babington finishes outside the top 10. For Sean, this is really his championship to lose. Plenty of people can play a part in this. The O-Plate John Stewart down in 11th on the grid. Keep an eye for Charlie Eastwood. He'll be fighting back from 18th on the grid. Away we go. And the GP plate, Oliver Hodgson hits the front. Oh, we've got pile-ups! Oh my word, we've got about half a dozen karts off at turn one. Yellow flags waving, no surprises there. And that could be quite a long clean-up operation. Didn't quite see who went, but quite a few of them did. And it's Hodgson who leads as they go down the straight towards the chicane for the first time. And he is doing exactly what he needs to get the championship sorted out. It's out of his hands. It's all down to Babington now.
And you can see from the helicam there's a nice gap back from Babington to 5th place, and Sean Babington is the ultimate Mr. Cool. You see the 27 karts still running, but lots of damage for Connor Jupp. Looks like he was one of those karts off through turn 2 Cafe Corners up the inside for 2nd place. We've got a change for second, still Hodgson out front. Kieran Gifford slips through to second. Jessica Batman looks like she's got a lot of damage on the left side of her kart. She's still running there in 7th place. So it's Hodgson that leads. Looks like another change for second, have we? Yeah, Safri goes through to second. Babington goes with him, drops Gifford back to 4th place. Jake mentioned Charlie Eastwood during the grid rundowns. We have a look at Jack Safri there, who is in 2nd place to Hodgson. Babington in 3rd, got the championship in his pocket as things stand. Jake did mention Charlie Eastwood, and we should mention that Charlie, who won the world title at the end of last year, has added now the European Championship title to that. So congratulations, Charlie, world and European champion. But he's had a miserable season in Super 1 though, Jake.
And it isn't really getting any better with this race. Charlie Eastwood, I didn't even see him come through, so I wonder if he was one of the drivers caught up in that melee. I have to look through the field to see how far he's climbed. But this trio at the front, Hodgson, Safri and Babington, this is where the championship is being played out. At the moment, it's Babington who is going to be the champion. Hodgson is doing everything he needs to. He is dominating out in front in terms of the fact that he's leading the whole race. So far, he hasn't lost the lead. In karting, it's very difficult to dominate by more than a kart length, especially when it's this competitive. But he is doing everything he needs to, staying out in front and holding that lead. But Babington there in 3rd position is going to make it impossible for Hodgson to claim the championship. Later on into the race, you can see that Hodgson's still hanging on to that lead, or is he? No, he's not. There goes Safri, there goes Babington. So Babington is adding insult to injury for Oliver Hodgson right now, through to 2nd place. Several drivers making some moves at the hairpin as we're in a fabulous position to catch the action with the helicam flying overhead. But Hodgson is now having to play catch-up. He's behind Babington, his championship rival. So Safri hits the front in the number 10. 35, Jessica Bachmann, she may have damage to that car, but she's doing a great job defending from Josh Collins, the Welsh champion, really pushing hard. So Jessica is obviously not slowed by that damage. I wonder if she was one of those who got... I don't think she was one of the ones who got spat out of the first corner, but certainly involved in that incident in some way. Probably took a couple of checks to the right and left of the car, but she's still going strong. This is definitely one of her best performances of the year. Up the inside, oh, it's a little bit too close as the O-Plate gets right in there. John Stewart trying to make up places. And we're finding that both Stewart, the O-Plate, and Eastwood, the European champion, struggling here at Shenington to make ground up. It's an ultra-competitive final round, a real end-of-term atmosphere. Everybody wants to go out on a high.
Charlie Eastwood, world and European champion, but he's not going to be British champion this season. I think the man in 2nd place at the moment is going to be, and again, he's putting himself in a position where he can be contacted from behind. And at this stage, here comes Hodgson up the inside. So he's back through to 2nd place. Hodgson needs to win, just to reiterate. Hodgson on the GP plate, the Kartmasters Grand Prix champion. He needs to win this race and needs the man behind him there, currently in 3rd place, to finish outside the top 10 for him to have any chance whatsoever. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. The man driving the one kart, he's got all the experience. He was last year's champion. It looks like he's going to be this year's champion. He is the ultimate Mr. Cool. And I don't think he's going to make any mistake from the position he's in now.
There's always a temptation, of course, when you're ending a season with a championship to play for, that you want to win to be the champion rather than finish 3rd or 4th or wherever. But Babington, as you say, plenty of experience. He knows how to win a championship. He's won it on merit rather than ever having it handed to him on a plate. So Babington knows how to win a championship, but there's always that temptation. You're a racing driver, you're a champion, you want to win like a champion, and that's always when you have a risk of losing it. So it's that balance. Do you go for the win, or do you pick up the points and do enough to clinch the championship? There's a good strong run from Harrison Wignall, the 17. Very much in the top 10 in the pecking order in the last round of the championship. This is what I mean. Everybody wants to get a strong finish at the end of the season. You want to finish in the top 10 so that you can end the season and say, right, we were in the pecking order. This takes us into good morale boosting for 2014, and this is going to make things much better for us. So we can see out in front, these three still working hard. Safri, the GP plate of Hodgson, and the potential champion again, Sean Babington. Back-to-back titles en route to him at the moment. But Hodgson needs to win. He needs to win and hope that Babington slips out of the top 10. I can't see that happening, I have to say, right at this moment in time. Babington looking very cool at the moment.
We've seen in the past drivers in Oliver Hodgson's position looking back, seeing a driver behind them. In this case, it's Sean Babington, who they need to be in the top 10, and we've seen them slowing down and backing that driver up into the pack behind so that he gets mullered by the drivers behind. In this case though, frankly, there's not enough drivers right in behind Sean Babington for that tactic to work, and I'm not sure that's Oliver Hodgson's game, to be honest. I think he's just going to drive a straight race, try and win the race and hope that something happens to Sean Babington, but it doesn't look like happening at the moment. These three are well clear. It's Safri who will want to finish the season on a high. This is Jack's best run of the season this year as he comes through turn 1 through Cafe Corner, the right-hander. He'll want to go out on a high winning this race. The rest of the karts follow them through. Left-handed up Stratford straight into the hairpin. Still Safri from Hodgson and Babington's now got a clear gap. He looks over his shoulder, nothing in behind, and to be honest, I'd be surprised if Sean makes a move for second place now.
We can bang on and on about how good the championship fight has been this year and in this race between Hodgson and Babington, but you can't take away from Safri. He's driving an absolutely brilliant job today. As Alan said, this is his highest potential result if he stays where he is of the season, and taking on the championship contenders. He's done a great job. Hodgson does get him though on the run to the first corner. Hodgson sweeps through. And Safri will be a little bit disappointed about that, but he doesn't care about the championship, so he'll have another attempt on Hodgson. Hodgson defending, so he's done it once. Can't see him doing it again, though. He's a smart guy. He won't do it a second time if I know him. And he sets the fastest lap in the attempt to close up on Safri and pass him. So Hodgson is the fastest man. Safri in second place in front of Babington. If I know Sean, I don't think he'll attempt to get past Safri in quite the same fashion that Hodgson did. I think if he sees an opportunity that's blindingly obvious, he may take it, he may not. But if he sees a slight gap, I think he'll just settle for third position. He'll still get a trophy, and it's the last lap. So I can't see Sean Babington doing anything crazy. He knows where Hodgson is, 2 karts further on in front. And he's sitting in a position where he can clinch the championship. Any racing driver now would be foolish to do otherwise. Hodgson hugs the inside line. Safri trying to get him on the undercut. He hasn't quite got the momentum to get back past, but Safri is giving himself a mobile advert for 2014. Look at me, I am very much a contender. I can win races, I can take on the championship contenders, and I can compete for victory. So Safri is setting himself up very nicely for next year. Hodgson is going to come through and win like he needed to. So Hodgson wins, Safri second, but the champion is Sean Babington. He's delighted, and well deserved it is too.
Bit of a change of the way in which the racing was conducted today with some different driving standards. Have you found that to be good for you and an improvement to the racing?
Well, to be honest, when they first said about it, I thought I was going to dip out because we were starting on the front row for the first final, and not being able to defend. Obviously, with a training carts behind you, you're never going to stay in the lead. But it actually worked okay, to be honest with you. It made the racing a lot better. It weren't. To be fair, in the heats, it was a bit boring, the racing, and it's not really racing, sitting on the white line, but you have to do what you do. If you don't, you get overtaken. But bringing that in definitely changed it. It made the racing a lot more enjoyable, and yeah, enjoyed it. So it was really good.
Well, from a spectator point of view, I can assure you it was very exciting, and so thanks for that. Well done, and look forward to seeing you at the World Champs. Okay, Jack, second place in the end, but it looked like a cracking race. In your own words, how did it go for you?
Yeah, no, it was really good. I mean, at the start of the day, obviously had this big hoo-ha with the no defending thing, and it really livened things up. We had a really good race. Led for most of it, and yeah, I mean, I wasn't able quick enough to break it at a track like this. You just can't break them, and got in the lead for a lot of it, and yeah, like 2 minutes to go, he made the move and covered it for the rest of the race. And you know, I can't, because one more lap and I'd have started defending myself. But you know, second's still a good result, and it should boost us up in the championship.
Today, given this style of track, it's very, very hard to actually break away. So it was all about kind of being in the right place for the last few laps. And today I was lucky enough to be in the right place for the last few laps. And we was fighting for the championship today. We didn't quite do enough. So well done to Sean Babington for taking the #1 plate. And I'd like to thank KR Sport, my dad, because they put in so much hard work, and my kart's been great.
It certainly has, Oliver. You drove it like a champion. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be today. Sean Babington takes the championship, just 8 points ahead of Oliver Hodgson. Kyle Fowley finishing third, Harry Webb, John Stewart, and world and European champion Charlie Eastwood rounding out a disappointing season in the British Championship with 6th position. So well done to our champions, Oliver York and Kian Jewis in the Coma and Honda Cadet Championships, our Minimax champion Connor Hall, and Guan Yu Zhu and Sean Babington, junior and senior Rotax champions. We're going to kick off again in a fortnight's time for the finale of the MSA Super 1 Championship right here at Shenington.